Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another monster video. So in today's video, I'm going to review the monster Seashell Guard. You can obtain this right now in the exclusive pass, and today we're going to see whether he's good or not. So I hope you guys are excited. If you are, make sure to drop a like, subscribe. Anyways, let's go on and get started. So as you guys can see, we have Seashell Guard here, rank 3, level 130. I want to give a huge shout out to Bunky for letting me borrow her account. So take a look at this, guys. Your only traits, you have tough right away, pretty good, better than hardened. These immune to control, that's just yourself. It's a trait though, really good. And then status caster, area 50% shield. So this is actually a pretty good status caster. You know, everybody basically on your team starts off with 50% shield. You can pair it up with like taunt, mega taunt, or whatever. It's actually not a bad idea. So that's pretty good, I've got to say. Now in terms of stats, this monster actually lacks speed, I see. So 10,878 at level 130. That speed is actually pretty low, could have been better. You have 258,368. That's the highest life stat in the game. I've never seen that before. That's the highest life stat in the game at 130. And then the power doesn't really matter. This monster's not an attacker. So take a look at this. What I loved about this monster, and this actually got leaked quite a while ago, this skill right here, the shell skill, right? So basically, you can spam this as much as you want. You have 0 cooldown, 0 stamina. You can continue spamming this as much as you want. The medium shield is really, really good. And then on top of that, you also have Chosen Shell, which is a taunt to itself. 50% shield and positive protection to everybody. So if you have any monsters that starts off with taunt status caster, you can basically start off with this, or they don't even have to start off with taunt status caster. Let's say there's supposed to be a monster that's supposed to be a taunt, a tank, right? They're supposed to play that role. Like for example, that one rock monster from the battle pass that you have to apply a taunt by a skill. That can also be used as an attacker. Forgot the name of him, but you can basically pair this monster up with him, and you can apply this taunt with positive protection. So the enemy has to actually PR twice in order to get rid of the taunt. So that's something you can play around with. Medium shield to everybody with positive protection. Now you also have a very heavy water damage to an enemy, drowned, and 30% life shield to yourself. So the drowned is of course to the enemy, 50% shield to yourself. This skill is a must. And then Abyssal Spikes, which is a 50% damage mirror with medium shield. So this is just yourself. Now you can also play around with something like this one, Unbreakable Forecast. So basically you apply 50% damage protection and also damage mirror. You know, 100% damage mirror. I would say maybe go with this, Unbreakable. I really like this more, I've got to say. They both cost the same amount of stamina, and they're both 1 turn cooldown, so go for it. Now, what I like about this monster is the stamina cost and also the cooldowns. It's really, really low. Like, look at this. This is actually not that bad. So probably the best exclusive pass monster so far for this season, I've got to say, or for this era, actually, in general. Yeah, for this era, this monster is probably the best, in my opinion. In my opinion, this is actually the best exclusive pass monster. Better than Torvox, for sure. Although Torvox was actually pretty good for Grindmasters, and that was just Grindmasters only. Now, in terms of runes, you can do triple team speed, or you can actually play around and do like 1 speed with 2 team speed, or you can even do, for example, 2 speed, 1 team speed, or you can even do entirely a triple speed because this monster actually lacks the speed. So I'm just gonna go on and play around and do something like this, and we're gonna actually take it to rank up dungeon because that's where I actually want to showcase this monster, because I think that's like where this monster is going to be used mainly or the most, right? So we're gonna take it there, but let's take a look at the ultimate. Runes on negative status effects, blocks out 50% of the incoming damage, and applies a 100% life shield with positive protection to everybody. This ultimate is really, really good. One of the best support ultimate in my opinion. Now for relic slots, this is actually pretty good. I think these are pretty solid because you have both armors, right? Shields actually that actually deals damage after being damaged, and also it gives you shield. Really, really good as a supporter monster. These relics are actually pretty good. For talent, you can do Zara Tree of Life, or you can mess around with something else. There aren't really too many OP talents out at the moment, so I would say this is probably one of the best to give. Now I wanted to, you know, run something like this, but now that I think about it, I actually read this wrong, guys. So the Chosen Shell skill, the taunt is actually to yourself. You don't get to apply it to whoever you want, sadly. I really wish that you were able to actually do that, but in that case, then we can probably do like 1 life rune here or something like that and mess around something like this, for example. So 1 speed, 1 team speed, 1 life, or you can even do like 2 speed and 1 life like that. So I really thought that taunt you could just apply to whoever you want, but sadly you cannot do that. So you don't even have to use this monster if you don't want to. Silex, you can probably just throw him out and use a different monster instead. So I could, let's say if I want to use this maze monster, I could do that, and I could just do that instead. So I have my attacker on the side and then this monster on the side as well. So 2 speed and 1 life. We can actually use this guy as a tank. But the thing is, if you're going to be using him as a tank, here's the issue. You have to get in a turn to basically apply that taunt. So look, this is what I mean. The taunt with medium shield and positive protection, you have to get a turn in to basically apply this. So look at this. Shield, positive protection with taunt, and these other monsters also gain that. Really, really good, I gotta say. But the only thing that really sucks is the fact that you have to get in the turn in, and then you can apply that taunt. So I would say don't really use him as a tank, honestly. Use him more of a supporter. I think that's more reasonable, right? But if you want to carry that skill just as a backup, you can, because it comes in with the positive section and also medium shield. So carry it out if you want, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Go for it, because eventually, if you really need it, you can do this with medium shield and positive back protection, and then the turn after, if it doesn't get cleansed, you can do damage section with 100% damage mirror, and together that's actually a pretty good defense type of thing. So I think I'm gonna do a team speed here instead of the life rune. But again, there are many ways to actually give runes to this monster. It's just one of those weird monsters, honestly. If you're gonna be running as a tank again, you just gotta take in that first turn and apply it to yourself. And I guess that is not a bad idea, that you can start off with something like that. You can also do something like this, for example, damage mirror with that. But these monsters are super easy to beat, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get through these. Another thing is that 50% shield, let's say if it runs out, which it will in about 2 turns, as you guys can see, the status caster, you can always just spam it. Look at this. 50% shield to everybody. It's just beautiful because you can continue spamming that as much as you want. Look, another turn right here. We get to basically do another 50% shield to everybody. And you can continue spamming that as much as you want. It's so, so good. So the only thing that could really go through it would be a PR skill, or, for example, a, whatchamacallit, either a PR skill or Pierce. Yep, that's what I wanted to say. I'm gonna do this, and again, spam it. Spam it as much as you want. Literally, you can spam it unlimitedly because 0 cooldown, 0 stamina. And it doesn't really matter, because even though this monster has double shield as his relic slots, you can continue doing that over and over again. Really, really sweet in my opinion. So this one has Burn X, Megalobot with the Raijin monster. And many of these monsters on, you know, rank up to Level Legend doesn't really have PER skills, so you can continue spamming this as much as you want. And again, if you have this monster to rank 3, you don't have to start off with this skill. You can entirely just go with something like this, for example, just steal the damage, because you don't really need to start off with that. You already have it as your status caster. Unless you really need it, that's when you're gonna, I guess, do something different. Now, there are 2 Pierce monsters here, so I'm gonna do Shield, positive protection with taunt. And we're gonna do an extra turn, get rid of the anticipation monster, Pierce. And we can do something like this. Now, I'm gonna charge up on purpose here, because remember, I need to basically charge up for stamina. And of course, you don't really have to do that every time. You can just continue spamming this again. It's so good, you don't need any stamina for it. See, look, it's just so good. So when the enemy gets a turn in, look, he attacks. He has to go through the shield in order to actually damage my actual life. Look at this. It's just amazing, isn't it? Oh man, that's super fun to use. But yeah, you can just mess around with that. I would say it's best to use them in the rank up survival engine. That's really the best place to actually use this mythic monster and utilize his 50% spammable shield. And again, you just have to, you don't really have to start off with the shield again unless you don't have them to rank 3, but you should, because you're going to be purchasing the rank 3 exclusive pass, right? So it's going to come in with that rank 3. So here is something that I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and eliminate this monster real quick, and again, whenever I need shield, I can continue spamming it. And also another thing I want to mention, you don't have to give it any speed runes if you don't want to. You can probably do like triple team speed or 2 team speed with 1 speed. I just want to make this monster fast enough so it's not super slow, since he's lacking on speed. I don't want to make it super slow so that I don't really get the turn in to spam that shield, you know what I mean? So I want to continue spamming that as much as I want. You know what I mean? But anyways, guys, that's going to be pretty much it for today's Monster Gens monster review on the monster Seashell Guard. Let me know in the comments below what you guys actually think about him. But again, I really think that he's best to use in the rank up survival dungeon because you know, utilizing his 50% shield skill, you can continue spamming that. It's really good. And I really like his traits with Taskcaster. But that's going to be pretty much it for today's Monster Gens video. Hope you guys did enjoy. And if you did, make sure to drop a like, subscribe. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.